Let's jump right in. 5 tips to keep your backpacking and hiking trips in the midst of high gas and high food costs. Let's start talking about it. The first tip I have for everybody is to consider carpooling. I have a trip coming up with my brother real soon, and rather than drive separate and meet at the trailhead, we are gonna meet up and carpool and split the gas money. Definitely will make this trip much cheaper than if we're both to drive separately and get up there. So if you got people that you backpack or hike with on a regular basis, make sure you're talking to each other, make sure you're planning trips together, and carpool, save some money. Tip number 2 is to look for trails that are more local. Now this is an idea that I have already been implementing. It's also an idea that somebody shared in the comment box in the community tab on my YouTube channel. Rather than driving 6, 7, 10, 12 hours to hit a trail to do a trip, which we look forward to those trips, maybe we have to look at trails that are in our home state or a lot closer. I know for myself, I'm going to be doing a through hike of the Manistee National Forest in Michigan a little bit later on this summer. Typically, I've been going down to Kentucky in the middle of the summer, but given the fact that that's 7 hours away, that's going to be a few $100s in gas easy. I think looking for something that's an hour and a half to 2 hours away from my house is going to be the much more economical, probably wise decision this year. Also, I get to experience more of the beauty that I have in Michigan here. So I'm going to make use of local trails this year. Tip number 3, if you've got a birthday coming up, Christmas later on this year, any sort of event where you may receive a gift, ask for gas cards or ask for gift cards to the favorite gear companies that you frequently purchase items from, and then use the money that you would spend on gear for gas. All right. If you're like me, limited budget for gear in your life, right? So the high gas prices are chipping away at that gear budget. So ask for gift cards for either fuel or for gear. That'll help you still make all the backpacking trips and hopefully get some of the gear that you want this year so you can keep going with your backpacking adventures. Tip number 4 to keep your backpacking trips going in the midst of high gas prices: sleep in your car.
And I live in a van down by the river.
So if you are going to travel a great distance to get to your trail, and you usually would hit a hotel room or an Airbnb or what are those called, a VRBO, on your way down, consider sleeping in your vehicle, stopping at a rest stop or a Walmart parking lot. I know that might seem a little dangerous, might not be for everybody, but honestly, if you can save that, 60 to 150 bucks a night, that could help defray the cost of fuel, help you still keep all of the trips that you want to do this year. It's kind of like backpacking, right? If you want that ultra light gear, if you want that really light setup, you got to give up some luxuries. So if you want to still travel that 10, 12 hours to get to that trailhead that you just really wanted to get to this year, you might just be sleeping in your vehicle one night, both ways, to make it happen. So that's tip number 4. The last and final tip that I have is tip number 5, and it came from one of the comments in my community tab on the YouTube channel. And that was, it has not impacted, something to the effect of, it hasn't impacted my trips. Backpacking is therapy to me. And I think if that's the case, if getting out in the backcountry, getting out on trail is really important for you and for your life and maybe for your mental health and whatnot, then but you're feeling the impact of the gas prices. Look at other things that you can cut out during the month. Maybe you go to Starbucks twice a week. Okay, why don't we get rid of one of those? Or maybe even both of those and start making your own coffee. You go out for lunch, you go out for breakfast, you go out to eat, let's just say 2 times or 4 times a week. Why don't you cut one of those out? That should help defray the fuel costs for your backpacking trips. So you just have to make some tough decisions. And if you do that and you get your priorities straight, if backpacking is a priority for you, well, then do the things you need to in your life to afford to still go backpacking in the midst of the high fuel costs. I have a bonus thought on this as well. Do not go into debt to go backpacking. That applied 2 years ago, 10 years ago, just as much as it does now. Don't go into debt to buy gear. That's just stupid. Just save up the cash and buy it outright. Do not go into debt purchasing fuel to go backpacking. you're just setting yourself up for failure later. Backpacking, I'm sorry, it's not worth going into debt for. In my opinion, there's two things worth going into debt for. That is a home and unexpected emergency medical bills. Other than that, try as hard as you can to pay cash for everything. That includes your backpacking gear. That includes the fuel that you're going to use to go backpacking with. It's not worth going into debt, folks. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Not worth it. There, it's my 2 cents. Might be about 25 cents worth, but I'll still call it my 2 cents. Let me know in the comments below, how have high gas prices impacted your backpacking this year? How do you foresee high gas prices impacting your backpacking this year? Please keep politics out of it. Don't want to hear about it. We all have our opinions. That's great. Let's not do that in the comment section for now. All I want to know is, here's the deal. Gas prices right now are a reality. So how are you all dealing with it? How are you all coping with it? It's a challenge right now for sure. Let me know in the comments below. Please like the video, comment below, and consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification. Thanks for your time. Talk to y'all later. Take care.